Hello and welcome to our first show of TUTV for the fall 2025 semester. I'm Anderson Bell.
And I'm Bruce Bigler.
Well, Bruce, isn't it great to be back?
It is. Boy, I'm excited for today.
Yeah, and we've got a lot of exciting stuff to talk about, so let's just get right into it.
We have an exciting show this week. Blaine Greteman, Dean of the College of Arts and Sciences and the Honors College, will be joining us later. But first, let's get a short recap of this week's major headlines. Immigration officials detained over 300 South Korean nationals in a raid on a Hyundai factory in Georgia last week. The raid is part of a large-scale effort by the Trump administration to attack the employment of non-American citizens. Border Patrol Chief Gregory Bovino has vowed a blitz of arrests in Chicago, according to CBS. Immigration officials have begun conducting large-scale operations in the city, including controversial roving patrols recently upheld by the Supreme Court. Israel conducted a strike on Hamas leaders in the Qatari capital of Doha today. The strike killed 6 people, according to Hamas, who claims that none of their leadership were killed in the attack. World leaders, including Keir Starmer of the UK, have criticized the attack, which they says risks escalation of the Israeli-Hamas conflict, which has killed tens of thousands.
Now turning to Tulsa news, the inaugural Dean of the Honors College, Jennifer Frey, departed her position during a summer full of administrative reshuffles. In response, a group of honors students organized a letter-writing campaign to voice concerns regarding her departure and its effects on honors curriculum and student experiences. TUTV Michael Searles comes to us from an Honors Student Association town hall with the campaign's lead author.
On Friday, June 27th, honor students received an email blast declaring that Dean Frey had been unjustly fired by the TU provost. The students who wrote the email claimed they received this information from Frey herself and sought to organize fellow honor students in her defense.
And so I think that was a very nebulous moment for everyone because we weren't all here on campus. Pretty quickly what we landed on was the idea of creating a letter writing campaign to either the future dean or the provost or even the board of trustees to kind of reach out and say we're concerned about the decisions that we're making and what that says about the longevity of the college. The information that we were being given did not super match up with what was happening always, and then it definitely didn't match up with the eventual end because we were under the impression we were going to get a director. We ended up with a dean instead, and so it was just lots of twists and turns that we were trying to navigate.
A little more than 1 month later, Blaine Greteman, Dean of the Kendall College of Arts and Sciences, announced he would take on a second position as Dean for the Honors College.
We didn't have a ton of clear communication, but we can see that through the hiring of Dean Greteman as a real dean for the college rather than a director, some of our needs have been met, and I'm hoping that going forward they're able to reach everything that we outlined in those emails and that we reached out about, and that we continue the momentum that we've been trying to build up in the past couple of years.
For TUTV, I'm Michael Searles.
After being rescheduled due to weather, the TU Activities Fair was finally held last Thursday evening. All varieties of student clubs and organizations were present, and food trucks provided free refreshments to all attendees. TUTV reporter Van Vo gave us a special on-location report for this much-anticipated event.
Last Thursday, September 4th, the Activities Fair was happening right here on campus. Over 130 student organizations will be there to welcome you, especially our new freshmen. It's the best chance to explore, connect, and find your community. Let's see what students have to say about this exciting event.
Okay, I think the Activities Fair is a really good event because it allows the freshman class to meet all of these new kinds of clubs and stuff. It's great for networking for any group of graduating class, and we're excited to see new faces.
It's very nice weather, very convenient weather, and there are a lot of really engaged and interested students here. So it's a great opportunity and a great experience.
I'm currently at the Activities Fair near the CGE booth, and honestly, I love the Activities Fair. It's just a great time to get to know about different organizations and clubs on campus and get to meet new people as well. I highly recommend it. You should go every year.
The The TU Theater Union has kept performing arts alive on campus, with last year's adaptation of Medea receiving stellar turnout from Tulsa audiences. We now turn to Benton Raymer for more exciting news about the club's plans for this fall semester.
Hello, my name is Benton Raymer, and I'm here with Jaden Fording, the president and co-founder of TU Theater Union, as well as Eleanor Hahn, who will be producing the new show. So Jaden, why don't you tell us a little bit about what TU Theater Union is?
Yeah, totally. So TU Theater Union is a club that was created about 2 years ago now, going into its third year, that we made in response to the removal of the theater programs at TU. So you can't major and study theater formally here, but as a student organization, when I came in my freshman year, I met Alexander Dupree, and we decided to co-found a theater club. So we put on all sorts of events that are theater themed. This coming, not this Monday, but the next September 15th, we're having Theater Jeopardy, we do karaoke, we do improv, and starting last fall, we now do full-scale productions.
Yeah, so speaking on that note, you have an announcement. So Eleanor, why don't you talk us through your big announcement?
Yeah, so this year we are doing another fall play. We've decided to do Oedipus the King, and we're going to be, over the course of, I think, 8 weeks, casting and then going through the whole process of putting on our second ever fall play, and it's going to be really fun.
Great. So Jaden, why don't you tell the people how they would get involved with that, whether they want to be in that or just come watch?
Yeah, totally. So tomorrow, well, I guess this is coming out on Tuesday.
Yeah.
So the day this is coming out is our last day of auditions. So that being tomorrow, Monday, from 5 to 8, and then Tuesday, 2 to 5 this week. We're having auditions, although we're very open to like casting people throughout the process, I would say. As well as we need all of the sort of creative and crew people we can get. And for both of those things, we have forms. They're up on our Instagram. They're in our GroupMe. If you go to the link in our bio on our Instagram, there's a link tree with a form to audition and a form to fill out if you want to do any sort of like run crew type thing, if you want to help build sets, if you want to help do costumes, makeup. Benton will be doing our lighting, and we'll have some people who can help in some ways as well. So yeah, all sorts of really great stuff.
Great. So Jaden, what are you, as the president, what are you looking to like turn TU Theater Union into after this show? Where are you looking to go from here?
Yeah, so our goal is we're going to set a precedent of doing a play in the fall. Generally, right now we've done Greek tragedies exclusively. And that's been in partnership with the Honors College, and now this year, the Honors College and the College of Arts and Sciences. I think the plan is to keep that as a Greek play, or like something that is generally requiring some sort of historical study. In the spring, we'll do a musical tentatively. We're being a little bit secretive about it because, we're not going to announce what we're doing until probably midway through the semester, because we can't promise anything without funding. But we're working on our fundraising, and so that is the hope going forward. And we do our spring cabaret show as well to help show off a lot of our singers and musicians, and that's sort of where we're at right now.
Great, thank you. To finish us off, Eleanor, why don't you give them a little sneak peek of what to expect for Oedipus? Maybe a little intro of what that play is about.
Oedipus is I would say, a pretty famous play. Most people kind of generally know the idea. And we're starting casting, as Jaden already said, tomorrow, Tuesday. So, we're still kind of going to see on who our actors are going to be and all those things. But in general, I would say, I think we're going to follow similar to what we did last year with Medea in terms of like our staging process and all of that. But the overall play, it's a tragedy. Right, and one of the big points of Oedipus the King is that it's a deeply ironic play, and so my hope is to be able to convey to the audience, despite the fact that I think most people kind of know the twist of Oedipus the King and know the plot points of the King, to be able to surprise people who watch it, despite the fact that they already know what's going to happen.
Perfect. Thank you. Well, thank you both for your efforts to bring creative theater back to TU. It's been fun to watch. Looking forward to the show and looking forward to helping out. Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, Anderson, lots of exciting stuff going on in the world and TU. This is a big time of transition for TU, is it not?
Yes, absolutely. Transition in everything from the president, administration, athletics. It's transition in a lot of ways. And, I think TU's student body will do a good job at getting through that and really keeping this university strong. So that's what I'm looking at in the future. But yes, a lot of changes, transitions for sure.
Mm-hmm. Well, still to come, we have interviews with Dean Blaine Greteman and a special look at a new campus club.
Any of that footage interests you guys, you need to study abroad, specifically in Thailand. That's where I went last semester and had the time of my life. Thailand is the most affordable program offered through CIS Abroad, and I highly recommend you guys take that leap. I'm here to help every step of the way, so get in contact with me, Roma, and I can help you with that process and get you $250 off if you use my referral code. Now contact me again, guys. The deadline is coming up soon, but you will not regret it. Peace.
Hi, I'm Ella Calvert. And I'm Yasmina Bruton. And today we're just going to cover some fun events, some things that have been going on campus. Before we jump into today's interview, let's take a look at TU campus events upcoming this week. October 16th, the Alexander Hogue Gallery is displaying the inaugural Sarah J. Clark National Works on Paper Biennial in Phillips Hall. The free exhibition features work by 40 artists from around the country and is open 9 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. Monday through Friday. On Wednesday between 10 and 3, King Careers will hold their Closet Raid at Holmes Student Center. Select one full professional outfit and stay looking sharp for the career fair next Wednesday, September 17th.
King Careers prepares students for the fairs continue from 10 to 3 on Thursday with mock employee interviews. Sit down with a career coach or representative from Tulsa Innovation Labs or Hilltide for a 15-minute session with on-the-spot feedback. On Friday, the UTulsa College of Law is holding their Prospect Open House at 11 a.m. The event features a building tour and informational session regarding the application process. It is open to all TU students, but advanced registration is requested. Now, let's switch over to our interview chairs to hear from the new Dean of the Honors College.
Welcome back to TUTV. I am Michael Searles, and our guest today is the Dean of the College of Arts and Sciences and new Dean of the Honors College, Blaine Greteman. How are you, Blaine?
I'm great. Thanks for having me.
Fantastic. Well, we'll just jump right in because I know you're very busy. Dean of two colleges now.
A double dean, as we say.
Double dean. What does that look like? Splitting responsibilities between arts and sciences and honors. I imagine all still in the liberal arts fields, so there's a lot of overlap. I imagine.
Yeah, and in that sense, it's really, it is actually a really nice combination, because a lot of the, historically, many arts and sciences faculty have been the kind of core teaching faculty in first when the honors program and then the honors college at the University of Tulsa. So there's a lot of familiarity there. There's a lot of overlap in terms of the subject matter. In terms of what it looks like in the day-to-day, it's been a lot of fun, actually. I thought it might be a lot to manage because you are putting on another hat, but really the amount of overlap, the number of faculty who already were working between the two colleges has made that part pretty easy. And getting to know the honors students has been really, really fun, because a lot of them really are outside of the college. That's the big different piece, is that you've got a lot of students from engineering and health sciences and business that are in the honors college. And in my normal day-to-day as the Arts and Sciences Dean, those are students that I really haven't had all that much interaction with at TU.
You mentioned students as well. I've been in a conversation with Honor Student Association. I know that's a kind of new organization as well. Have you been in communication with all of them? I know they were really.
They are really an amazing group. I've been talking with them a lot, and the level of organization and initiative that they are bringing to the Honor Student Association is really pretty remarkable. I'm not that familiar with working with students who are that self-motivated and organized. I certainly wasn't when I was like a freshman and sophomore, but so I've had several meetings with them. They have plans in the work for an honors formal, which like a fall formal, a dance that they're gonna have. There's a play that we're going to be doing, a fall play. So
each year, with each new freshman class, honors is growing and growing even more. I was at the honors town hall this past weekend. And why do you think there has been such kind of a growth? And it's honors college as it is now is only like 2 years old, and already in those 2 years, we've seen so much growth and so much student involvement on campus.
Well, I think, part of it is it's a really interesting curriculum. I think students really like the Great Books curriculum. I actually also think there's something appealing about an honors college that sort of has its own culture compared to an honors program, which is what TU had traditionally. And there was a lot of interest in the honors program.
Yeah.
At times there were 200-300 students already in the honors program.
Yeah.
So if you go back historically, it had been a pretty active group of students. I think part of what happened is there was a period around 2018, 2019 when there really were some cuts to the liberal arts on campus here. That's when the theater program was downsized, for example. And the honors program was part of what ended up shrinking a little bit during that time, but there was a lot of kind of latent demand that really kind of came roaring back with the honors college, and students seem to be really, really invested in the Great Books tradition. But even above that, I think what I'm seeing that they're enjoying is having this culture and community of students that really goes outside the classroom, and it's part of stuff like these town halls and the other activities they're planning.
You mentioned 2018, 2019, kind of some of those budget cuts. I think most students are aware that TU is not a lot of money to go around. Do you foresee any more of those major cuts like we were seeing like 2019 affecting arts and sciences or even the honors college?
No, I don't. So right now, higher education across the whole country, pretty much everybody has had some sort of reduction, partly because one of the things we've really been navigating is cuts that are coming from the federal government. And so when you're counting on that kind of revenue and it just suddenly overnight goes away, in cases like that, there are already contracts that have been drawn up with the people she was collaborating with. You've got to figure out how you're going to adjust. And I think around the country, everybody is making those adjustments. So the difference, between where we are now and where, that period that you're talking about, which was the true commitment period, there was a whole discussion about strategically realigning the University of Tulsa in a way that was more focused on kind of career prep and that kind of training, and a little bit de-emphasizing the arts and sciences, frankly. And this time, it's more. Really, we're in a moment of a little bit of shared belt tightening. But in terms of our strategy as a university, nothing has changed. And what we're really doubling down on in a lot of ways at TU is we're built on a small liberal arts model that is, you can come as a student and get a whole student education in the arts and humanities, and that might be part of a pathway towards your career as an engineer, or somebody who's doing business, or somebody who's doing health sciences. But I think all of us in the administration really do see the liberal arts as a core part of what sets University of Tulsa apart.
That's fantastic. Well, I think that's about all the time we have. Thank you so much, Blaine, for coming on and talking about all this. Hope to have you on next year as well for third time the charm.
Absolutely.
On TUTV. That's all for this interview segment. I am Michael Searles, and we'll send it back to the desk.
Tulsa Young Professionals is a membership organization dedicated to connecting future leaders and fostering growth within the Tulsa community. TUTV reporter Heaven Harris brings us the story from one of Tulsa Young Professionals' premier networking events.
Tulsa Young Professionals hosted its annual premier networking event this past week, featuring leading industry professionals in the Tulsa area. Here's what TIPRO's business co-crew leaders say about this event's showcasing.
Hi, I am the co-crew leader for the Tulsa Young Professionals Business Development Crew. Tonight we had an event called All Access, which is our premier networking vertical event. It's TIPRO's biggest event of the year, and what it is essentially that our TIPRO's members get to connect with Tulsa's top leaders in the community.
Hi, I'm Isaiah Wright. I'm the incoming business development co-crew leader for TIPRO's. We're just wrapping up with All Access, which is TIPRO's premier networking event. And I'm so excited about how well it did. We got lots of great leaders from the community. I'm talking CEOs, I'm talking executive directors, and as many young professionals who wanted to be in attendance. It was a great time for networking, connection, and growth. I'm very excited about what the future of Tulsa's young professionals looks like.
If you are looking to become a TIPRO's member, be on the lookout for service and engagement opportunities on their website.
A brand new student organization has formed on campus and is already drawing eyes for its unique and lighthearted premise. We now go to Reese Wood with more on the TU Tier List Club.
Just 1 week into the new semester, a group of freshmen started a new, never-before-seen, not yet officially chartered club, the Tier List Club. Once a week, around 40 students gather to rank items in different categories, from ranking dessert foods to ranking Pixar movies. With Professor Lansana recently agreeing to be their official staff sponsor, it looks like Tier List Club is well on their way to becoming an officially chartered club.
Okay, my name is Noah Hart. I am an incoming freshman here at the University of Tulsa, and I am the acting president of Tier List Club. I feel like it went really well. We had a good first topic. It was desserts, and I feel like we were kind of able to get in the flow of things. We kind of established how these debates would happen. If you just want to have some fun, if you have opinions, if you like debating, if you did that in high school, or if you just want to have, just some fun, just making something with some friends, I'd invite you to come. It's just, we're not here to set an agenda or to prove a particular point. We're just here to have fun.
This group meets once a week on Tuesdays at 8 p.m. in the Hardesty Hall kitchen. For more information, find them on GroupMe. I'm Reese Wood from TUTV.
Okay, so their first meeting, they talked about desserts. I have to say that I think my number one dessert would definitely be brownies. Do you have a number one dessert?
I don't know, but I honestly think anything chocolate, that's an S tier for me.
Okay, awesome. Well, next up, we'll hear from our peer mentors about their first year experience classes and a special look at TU's Student Veterans Association.
Nope. But first, Carter Reed with our weekly TUTV weather report.
Hi, and welcome back to the weather. I'm Carter Reed.
Looking ahead to this week, we're going to have temperatures remaining in the low to mid 90s, a little bit warmer than usual, especially for this time of year, but that's due to a little bit of a trough that's beginning to reestablish itself over the central plains. A little bit of a high pressure system accompanying that, meaning that those cool air and winds aloft aren't quite going to make it to the ground. The good news is humidity will remain pretty low, dew points staying in the upper 50s, so it won't feel quite as bad as it had for most of this summer. Looking ahead into the future just a little bit, next Thursday there's a slight chance that we see a drop in those temperatures. Accompanying that, there's a chance of some light rain, maybe a few storms, but this far out it's a little bit tricky to tell. Looking now at the map here, this is predicting for Friday ahead, a trend that's mostly going to continue, showing our temperature anomaly. So for this time of year, you see these oranges and reds. That's showing that it's a little bit hotter than usual, especially for mid-September. So that's something kind of to watch out for, and that trend likely will continue for the next several weeks. This has been your TUTV weather. I'm Carter Reed. See you next week.
Hello and welcome back to the desk. I'm Bruce Bigler.
And I'm Reese Wood.
Here to bring you some of the most exciting news from the world of sports and beyond. In welcoming incoming students to TU, a group of upperclassmen mentor and guide freshmen into their new life on campus. This, of course, is a position of peer mentors. Jody Hollins, a fellow peer mentor himself, has a story.
First Year Experience, or FYE, is a required course for first-year students here at TU. It's led by student peer mentors and instructors, but what's the actual point of the class, and how have students felt about it over the years?
To learn more, I spoke with peer mentors that lead FYE every week, alongside the program manager of new student programs, Connor Johnson.
It's supposed to be a fun class. There's group projects every day in that class that are supposed to be engaging, supposed to be fun.
My student, Hayden, literally just came up to the front of the class randomly and did a straight up backflip, so we have the best FYE group. We've been doing cahoots on a regular basis because we know that fosters belonging among the group and also reinforces the ideas that we need them to understand during class while still allowing them to have a little bit of fun.
FYE is supposed to be, like we said, a fun class, really low stress environment, so just learn new things, meet people. And it's just one semester, so what can you really lose?
TU employs a dedicated group of veterans whose mission is to support students interested in joining the military. They provide mentorship and a sense of community for students considering enlistment in the U.S. Armed Forces. Tony Scardino has the report about their significance on campus.
Did you know the University of Tulsa has a thriving and eclectic community of student veterans? This week, I sit down with the university's own Director of Veterans Affairs to learn more about him and the organization he leads.
So my name is Robert Kowal. I'm currently the Director of Veterans Affairs here at the University of Tulsa. Before this, I spent 22 years in the United States Army as a military police officer, and then also spent a significant time with Army Recruiting Command. After retiring from the Army in December of 23, came back here to the Tulsa region and just happened to find a vacancy supporting veterans here at the University of Tulsa. When I exited the service, I didn't plan on this kind of work, but like many veterans will probably agree, there's this loss of identity, loss of community that comes with exiting the service. And this job presented an opportunity to not just support and serve veterans, but find my own community as a veteran as well. And so I think the thing I like most about the role that I get to play here at the university is I helped a lot of people join the military for the benefits. And now I get to see them after service use those benefits. And so for me, it's just the proof is right here that these benefits work and that military service is a great option for young people to get their lives started.
One such veteran is Ben Epperson.
My name is Ben Epperson, and I'm a graduate student here at the University of Tulsa. I'm Vice President of the Student Veterans Association, and we have a thriving veteran community here, and I'm just glad to have the experience. I served as a 2887 artillery electronics technician. That entails repairing radars on a regular basis, going out with radar teams, setting up outside of the fob, moving around frequently. In undergrad, I majored in biological sciences, so study of biology. And then I went ahead and took that forward and got into grad school here at the University of Tulsa in a PhD program in Ron Bonnett's lab. I'd like to go into academia. I'd like to be a university professor, research different aspects of integument permeability, things of that nature.
Join me again next week as I profile a different member of this unique community. For TUTV, I'm Tony Scardina.
Sport intramurals are an engaging part of student life on campus, bringing together students of all grades and majors. It's an exciting way for Greek life and students with a passion for athletics to compete in friendly sporting competition. Caitlin Stotts took a further look into this campus activity.
Intramurals are basically just like a college sports that, nobody's like a D1 athlete or something, just to have fun, be with the community and just bring everybody together at the University of Tulsa. Everybody has the opportunity to participate, whether it's students, faculty, staff, med school, law school, anybody has the opportunity. We do mainly the sports that we do are long seasons of flag football, volleyball. We got a brand new one for soccer this semester. And then the spring semester we have basketball and softball are the two main ones there. A-League, we have B-League if you're just looking for more of a fun experience. We got co-rec, so a fraternity house, a sorority house will get together, or even just Newman Center, RUF, they'll get teams together. We are doing flag football starting next week. On Monday we have A-League, Tuesday we have co-rec, and Thursday we have B-League, so you guys should come out and support. Just to watch guys have some fun, and we're just all looking forward to helping you guys out, helping you have some fun after studying and having a hard day.
Now, for a look at TU sports, we send it over to correspondent Anderson Bell for his analysis on quarterback Kirk Francis.
Hi, I'm Anderson Bell, and like many Tulsa University football fans, I was ecstatic when Trey Lamb was announced as the new head coach of the program. And although the team lost against New Mexico State this week, I believe that is not due to Trey Lamb's faults. The real answer lies with the fact that Kirk Francis simply is not the answer at quarterback. He's a redshirt sophomore, but he's not just developing at the rate he should be. And when we saw him pulled in the game and replaced with a true freshman, Baylor Hayes, Hayes was not only more efficient, put up more yards, and had better decision making. I think it's clear that Baylor Hayes is the answer at quarterback, or should at least be given a shot. And so ultimately, Kirk Francis either needs to develop more, figure stuff out, or just step aside and let someone else take the reins. Thanks.
Thank you so much, Anderson. This has been an incredible analysis of all things going on campus. One thing that Anderson mentioned a little bit earlier in the show was the time of transition that TU is in right now. And I'm curious, Reese, as a freshman coming into TU from an outside perspective, have you felt that transition? Has it felt a little bit out of place or messy in any way, or has it been pretty smooth for you?
Well, it's interesting because, a lot of the things that I was told coming into TU are not entirely accurate like they were whenever I was researching the school. So now coming in during this period of transition, it's interesting because I'm not only transitioning into college life, but it seems like everybody else who's been here for years is also transitioning with all these changes going on campus. So it's been interesting.
Yeah, it's fascinating. Well, it seems as though campus is really, really picking up this time of the year, and we're very excited to see what student life looks like here at TU over the coming weeks. That's all from us. Thank you so much for joining us.